Medical billing and coding. Now, chances are that many of you watching this have never had a formal course in medical billing and coding. So you've just been taught this huge body of knowledge in your schooling, and you're shoving it in, and then you have to get into the clinic and you have to figure out, okay, how do I bill and code for this? And it really is a shame, because it's going to be one of your biggest sources of frustration when you don't know what you're doing. Because if you overbill, or if you do procedures that you're not allowed to by the insurance contract and you do those anyway, then that's considered fraud, waste, and abuse. And the last thing you want is for the FBI or the OIG or any of these places to come in and audit you thinking that you're committing fraud on purpose. It's a huge deal. And I know so many providers who sit back and say, oh, I don't need to know any of this, I'll have the billers do it. First of all, if you do that, then you're abdicating your responsibility for making sure that things are done properly. It's all under your name, right? So if there's a false claim or if fraud is happening, I promise you that the law doesn't care about, oh, I didn't know. It's kind of like running through a red light and telling the police officer, I didn't know I had to stop at a red light. And the officer says, well, you're getting a ticket. That doesn't get you out of jail. I shared a story earlier in this course of a person who was at a hospital as an orthopedic surgeon, not in Colorado Springs, and he got audited for fraud. And he never saw the bills. He never touched the bills. He just did his work as a doctor, because that's what doctors do, and that's somebody else's job. Well, when he got audited, and they sat him down and asked him why he was committing fraud, and if he understood how long he could go to jail and lose his medical license and all of those things, well, it came home very quickly that abdicating your responsibility and keeping a blind eye on, well, that's not going to be any sort of defense. So number one, you're putting yourself into huge, huge harm's way. Number two, you're putting your patient's financial future in harm's way. You know, medical bankruptcy is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. It's been that way for years and years and years. And medical bills add up, and they're expensive. And if we're falsely billing, we could be seriously causing people some financial harm. And I promise you, that's not going to help support your why. Number three, your billers, even though they're billers, they oftentimes have no idea what the right code is for the procedure in the room. They also have no idea really on what you're doing in the room. They might be able to read the chart, but if you don't have an understanding of what needs to be in a chart to properly charge, then when they get audited or when an insurance company kicks them back, they're going to be flat out denied, because you haven't spent the time realizing what is needed to document accurately and honestly so that you can get paid. The other thing is, a lot of times, you get underpaid. So you don't understand the rules and what you need to document. You go through it all in the room, you do it all, and you do it perfectly. But if you don't document it in the chart, it did not happen.